Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today, we're tackling motivation.
Ooh, motivation. Love
I
it.
know, right? We found this awesome conversation between these two motivational speakers, Emma and Ryan,
Okay.
and they had so much energy, I swear, it like jumped out of my headphones.
Oh, contagious energy. I love that.
Yeah, totally. And they were talking about how motivation isn't something you just wait around for.
Hmm.
It's something you actually build into your routine.
Oh, I like that. Like a practice.
Exactly. So we thought, why not take a deep dive into their tips?
Awesome. Let's do it.
All right, so first up, they were talking about like setting these small, doable daily goals
Right.
instead of like those huge, overwhelming ones.
Okay. Yeah. Break it down.
Yeah. But like, why does that actually work? What's the psychology behind it?
Well, there's this thing called the Zeigarnik effect. And
Okay.
it basically says that we remember unfinished stuff more than things we've finished.
Oh, interesting.
So by having those smaller goals,
Mhm.
you're constantly like finishing something. Yeah.
And that keeps you going.
Yeah.
You know, it's like checking things off a to-do list, but for motivation.
Oh, I totally get that. And then Emma, she talked about this win journal. So every time you achieve a goal, even if it's tiny,
Yeah.
you write it down.
You know, that's actually really smart because there's this whole thing in psychology, positive reinforcement.
Right.
And that's basically saying when you acknowledge your wins,
Mm-hmm.
your brain's like, hey, let's do that again. It just makes you want to keep achieving.
Plus, who doesn't love celebrating a win?
Exactly.
And speaking of celebrating, Emma was saying she does these like spontaneous dance breaks when she hits a milestone.
Love that.
I know, right? So fun. I'm all about finding those little joys in the process.
Me too. And honestly, I think it's important. You know, it helps prevent burnout. If you're enjoying the journey,
Mm-hmm.
you're way more likely to stick with it in the long run.
So true. Okay, next tip. They were talking about surrounding yourself with positivity.
Oh, that's a big one.
Like people, content, even just your physical space.
I think they're getting at a really crucial idea here. Our environment, it really shapes us.
Yeah.
So if you're surrounded by things that lift you up,
Mm-hmm.
it creates this like breeding ground for motivation to grow.
It's like setting yourself up for success before you even start.
Exactly. Okay, so then they move on to tackling big projects.
Oh, yeah, the ones that feel impossible.
Right, and Ryan, he uses this awesome pizza analogy.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, explain it to everyone.
So he's like, imagine eating a whole pizza at once.
Overwhelming.
Totally overwhelming, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you slice it up,
Yeah,
suddenly it's manageable. It's the same with projects. Break it down,
makes sense.
focus on one slice at a time, and you'll
Yeah.
get there. Plus, it keeps that overwhelm in check.
So like instead of climb the whole mountain,
Right.
it's just take one step.
Perfect. Now, they couldn't talk motivation without mentioning self-care.
Oh yeah, that's essential.
Things like sleep, good food, exercise.
Mm-hmm. All that good stuff.
It's easy to see it as a luxury.
I know, right?
But Emma and Ryan, they frame it as like fuel for motivation.
I think what they're getting at is your physical and mental well-being, they're like totally connected.
Yeah.
If you're not taking care of your body,
Mm-hmm.
your motivation is going to suffer too. It's like self-care isn't a reward, it's an investment.
Oh, I like that. An investment in your motivation.
Exactly. So we've covered a lot already. What's standing out to you so far?
Honestly, I'm loving how Emma and Ryan are backing up their tips with actual psychology. It's not just like feel-good advice. It's
Right.
like, here's why this works, you know?
Totally. Okay, so before we move on, is there anything you're thinking of trying out yourself?
I'm definitely feeling inspired to be more intentional about my surroundings,
Oh, cool.
like maybe adding more inspiring books to my space or listening to more podcasts like this one.
Love it. It's amazing how just tweaking your environment can have a huge impact on your motivation.
All right, let's take a quick break and then dive into some even deeper insights from Emma and Ryan.
Sounds good. This whole idea of motivation as a practice, it really reminds me of that growth mindset stuff.
Oh, totally. I was just thinking that. But for anyone listening who might not know,
Yeah,
can you quickly explain what a growth mindset is?
right. Sure.
And how it connects to motivation?
So basically, a growth mindset means you believe your abilities, even your intelligence,
Mhm.
they're not set in stone. They can actually grow.
I like that.
Like you're always learning, always improving.
So it's not I'm bad at this. It's I'm still learning this.
Exactly. And when you apply that to motivation, those
Yeah.
dips in your drive, they become like learning experiences, not a reason to quit.
So like when you hit a roadblock,
Yep.
it's not the end. It's just, okay, got to adjust my strategy.
That's it. Think of it like learning an instrument. Someone with a fixed mindset,
Okay.
They might give up if they don't sound amazing right away.
Right.
But someone with a growth mindset, they see those early struggles as like part of the process.
So it's the same with motivation.
Totally. You're going to have setbacks, but it's all about how you view them. Stepping stones, not stop signs.
That's a good way to put it. And this reminds me, Emma and Ryan talked about how important self-awareness is for motivation.
Oh, for sure. They made a point of saying there's no one right way to get motivated.
Right. Like what works for me might not work for you.
Exactly. It's all about figuring out what actually drives you, what gets you excited.
So for some people, it's external stuff.
Like rewards.
Recognition.
Yeah.
But for others, it's more about that internal satisfaction.
Right. Like achieving something tough, it's got to be personal.
But also knowing what drains your motivation, those like energy zappers,
Oh, yeah, those are sneaky. You got to be aware of them.
like procrastination, or maybe perfectionism,
Perfectionism, the worst.
or even just being afraid to fail.
Right. All that stuff can really hold you back. But the good news is
Yeah.
Emma and Ryan had some awesome tips for dealing with it.
Like what?
Well, for procrastination, they said to break down tasks even more, like tiny, tiny chunks.
Oh, interesting.
And for perfectionism, get feedback from people you trust. It helps you get a more realistic view.
Oh, that's a good one.
And one thing they kept stressing was changing that negative self-talk
Oh, yeah.
into something more positive.
Because the way we talk to ourselves really matters.
It's huge. It's like having a coach in your head. You get to choose if that coach is supportive or just like constantly putting you down.
So true. And speaking of powerful stuff, I loved when they talked about having a clear why.
Oh, yeah, your purpose. That's essential. When you know why you're doing something, it's way easier to push through those tough moments.
It's like your motivation has this anchor so it doesn't just drift away when things get hard.
Exactly. And sometimes you just got to remind yourself of that why. Like, why is this goal important to me?
Right. So it's not just chasing random goals.
Yeah.
It's being really intentional.
Aligning your actions with what you truly care about. And then they moved on to creating a supportive environment for your motivation.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just all internal.
Right. It's both. So first they said surround yourself with people who believe in you, you know.
The ones who cheer you on, celebrate your wins.
Yeah, those are the people you need around you. And they also said find mentors, people who've already achieved what you want to achieve.
Oh, that's smart. Like learn from their experience.
Exactly. And then they talked about your physical space, like where you work or where you relax. Make it a place that inspires you.
Oh, I can see that. Having a dedicated space for whatever you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, whether it's an office, a reading nook, whatever. It's got to feel good to be there. Minimize those distractions. Set yourself up for success.
So we've talked about external stuff, like our environment and the people around us.
Right.
But ultimately, motivation has to come from within too, right?
Absolutely. That inner drive, it's essential.
Yeah.
And one of the best ways to build that
Okay.
is to find work that you're actually passionate about.
Makes sense. When you love what you're doing,
Yeah,
the motivation just flows, right?
it does. But, you know, not everyone is in their dream job right now.
True.
But that doesn't mean you can't find things that light you up.
So like hobbies.
Hobbies, volunteering, even just finding ways to be creative in your current work.
It's about seeking out those activities that make you feel alive.
Exactly. Because when you're energized by what you're doing,
Yeah.
you want to keep doing it. And speaking of energy, Emma and Ryan had some great tips for managing energy levels.
Okay. What do they say?
Well, first, take breaks, like actual breaks to recharge.
That burnout.
Exactly. And they suggested playing around with your work schedule, see what works best for you. Some people are morning people,
Yeah.
some are night owls. Figure out your own rhythm.
And they said sleep is super important.
So crucial.
Easy to forget, though.
I know, right? But it makes a huge difference for your energy and focus.
And they also talked about eating good food.
Fueling your body the right way and getting some exercise, even if it's just a little bit each day. Yeah, that's key.
Wow, we've covered so much in this deep dive.
We have.
It can feel a bit overwhelming. Like, how do I actually do all of this?
You know, you don't have to do it all at once. Start small.
Okay, good point.
Pick one or two things that resonate with you.
Yeah.
Try them out for a week or two. See how it goes. And then adjust if you need to.
It's about finding what works for you,
Exactly.
not trying to be perfect right away.
And remember, staying motivated, it's a journey, not a race. Some days are going to be easier than others.
Right.
But the important thing is to keep learning, keep growing, and keep fueling that spark. Okay, so before we jump into the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want you to think about one area of your life where you'd like to feel more motivated.
It could be work, relationships, personal goals, whatever matters to you. And in the next part, we'll explore even more strategies for tapping into that inner drive and actually achieving those goals. Okay, we're back, ready to wrap things up. So hopefully you've got that area of your life in mind where you'd like a little motivation boost.
Yep, keep that in mind because Emma and Ryan, they had some more awesome tips to share.
All right, let's hear them.
So one thing that stood out to me was visualization.
Oh, interesting.
They were talking about how, like, really vividly picturing yourself achieving your goals, it can actually help you succeed.
Like creating a mental movie where you're already there?
Yeah, exactly.
Is there any science behind that? Sounds almost too good to be true.
Well, actually, there's a lot of research showing that visualization can really change how we behave.
Oh, wow.
Like, when you visualize success,
Yeah.
your brain starts to believe it's possible.
Right.
Which can boost your confidence, your focus, all of that.
Emma even had this story about how she used visualization to get over her fear of public speaking.
Oh, cool.
She would picture herself giving this amazing presentation, and eventually it helped her do it for real.
It's a perfect example of how something mental can have real-world results.
For sure. And it can work for anything, right? Not just public speaking.
Well, yeah, totally. Whether it's a promotion at work, training for a marathon, even building healthier habits,
Right.
spending a few minutes a day visualizing can make a huge difference.
Okay, I'm definitely going to try that.
You should. And then Ryan, he added this extra layer to it.
What's that?
He said, combine visualization with affirmations.
Oh, affirmations, those positive statements.
Yeah, exactly. So you're picturing yourself succeeding, and at the same time, you're saying these positive things out loud.
Yeah.
Like, I am capable, or I am attracting abundance, whatever fits your goal.
So it's like double the positive power.
That's it. You're basically programming your mind for success.
I love it. Okay. So then they moved on to celebrating those small wins along the way.
Oh, yeah. Those are important.
Not just focusing on the end goal, but acknowledging the progress we make.
It's like those trail markers on a hike, you know?
Oh, yeah. They show you how far you've come.
Exactly. Those little victories, they can keep you going, especially when you're working towards something big.
So how do we actually celebrate those wins in a way that really motivates us?
Emma has suggested keeping a gratitude journal. Every day, write down things you're grateful for, big or small. It helps you focus on the positive stuff.
Oh, that's nice. It's so easy to just rush towards the next thing.
I know, right?
And forget to appreciate how far you've already come.
We all do it. And Ryan, he added that sharing your wins with others can be super motivating too. Like, find your cheer squad, the people who will celebrate with you.
Because celebrating together makes it even better.
Exactly. But of course, we can't talk about wins without talking about setbacks too.
Oh, right. Failure. That's part of the process.
It is. And Emma and Ryan, they really emphasize that
What do they say?
mistakes, they're going to happen.
Yep.
It's part of growing. It's how you react to those mistakes that matters.
So, don't let them derail you.
Right. They suggested taking time to reflect, figure out what went wrong, learn from it, and then adjust your approach.
So, turning those setbacks into stepping stones.
Exactly. And they also talked about being kind to yourself, especially when you mess up.
Oh, yeah. Self-compassion.
So important. It's easy to beat yourself up.
I know. I do it all the time.
We all do. But try to treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend.
Okay, that's a good reminder.
Because that inner voice, it can make a huge difference in how motivated you feel.
So true. So basically, Emma and Ryan are saying, staying motivated, it's a choice we make every day.
That's it. It's not always easy.
Right.
But it's worth it. They want us to find what works for us, experiment, and never give up on those things that light us up.
I love that. Any final thoughts you want to leave our listeners with?
I think the biggest takeaway is motivation, it's not something that just happens. We have to create it. And by understanding how it works and using these strategies, we can actually become more motivated, more successful, whatever that looks like for us.
That's so inspiring. Remember, even small steps can lead to big changes. So keep learning, keep growing, and keep that spark alive.